They're staring down the barrel of a 1st and 10 in enemy territory. 4 yards past midfield. A different formation for the Tigers. 3 receivers bunched up to the near side. Cobb right behind Jackson Arnold in the gun. Ken Coleman in motion. He'll head to the far side. The snap. A play action. He's looking towards number 8's direction. Rolling out to the sideline, and he just throws that one gracefully towards the hedges. 2nd and 10 coming up. An unsuccessful dial-up.
And that was Ashton Whitner, the sniper, in man-to-man coverage against Cam Coleman. And he was up to the task that time. I wonder if that's an adjustment that Ball State decided to make at halftime. We trust the speed. We trust the athleticism of Whitner. Maybe he'll line up more in more one-to-one scenarios with some of these receivers.
13-18 on the clock. 2nd and 10 still at the Ball State 46. The snap. Fake handoff, read option. Jackson Arnold open in space and slides down along the right hash. Gets to the 40-yard line, so it will be a 3rd and medium, a 3rd and 4 to be exact.
And that's a not-so-generous spot from the official. I thought Arnold probably had one more step before he began that slide, but Ball State will take it because you don't have like a tush-push situation like we saw in that first half. It forces Arnold to perhaps make a throw here.
A speedy formation, no tight end out there for Auburn as Eric Singleton Jr. subs in. The snap on 3rd and 4. Arnold, some time in the pocket, pressure, rolling out, steps up to the middle of the field, past the 1st down line, and he is down to the 32-yard line. Another Tiger first, but there's some laundry on the field.
And that was a late flag thrown by the back judge into the backfield. This will be an interesting call.
And it's going to be a holding on Dylan Wade, the senior from Houston, Texas. A 3-year starter for Auburn with a big mistake that could cost Auburn a 1st down unless Jackson Arnold can pull something out of his bag of tricks on a 3rd and 14.
Yeah, he just kind of got around the collarbone of Darren Conley and spun him around, but now Ball State in a good spot to maybe dial up pressure.
4 receiver look at midfield, 3rd and 14. And it's just going to be a handoff over to the near side for nothing. Blown up by this Ball State defense. And that will be a 4th and 14. No gain on the play.
Yeah, Justin Thomas, the first man there, the redshirt junior from Flossmoor, Illinois. And that was a smart look defensively from Ball State. They showed a lot of pressure. They had that front 7 stacked up against the line, and then they backed out of it when they saw that it was going to be a run. Still allowed Thomas to get around the edge and make that tackle, but confusing that Auburn offense once more.
So we'll have a punt here. Eric Weatherly, the man back, as it's Hudson Pack with the punt, and it goes out of bounds. Not a very far kick. He was trying to coffin it towards the pylon, but it looked like it hit the outside of his foot. We'll see how long that ended up going, as they will spot the ball at the 31-yard line, a 19-yard punt. And a chance for Ball State to capitalize. A bit of a short field.
There was absolutely an opportunity for Cock to pin Ball State back inside the 20, maybe inside the 10. He hasn't had to punt a lot today. And, you know, that's a spot in the field that a punter usually, you know, starts feeling pretty juiced to punt from, because that's where you get paid the big bucks, is pinning the other team deep. And that was not made the most of by Cock that time.
1st and 10 at the 30. 3 receivers over to the far side. Tight end in motion. The snap. Kyle, play action. Pressure coming toward his front side. Rolls out of it into some more. Lost the football. Looks like he was able to get underneath it, as he might have the recovery here. Either way, it's a sack and a big loss for Ball State.
And that's another one of those circumstances for Kelly where he tries to extend the play with his legs, and it almost turns into disaster. He was able to use that athleticism to get away from the first man in the backfield, but by that time, the pocket is completely collapsed. You're looking at a 6 to 8 second play. By that time, your offensive line is going to wear down, and so Kelly, rather than looking downfield, decided to huddle up tight and nearly lost the football. Not a good look.
11 minutes in the 3rd quarter, and it's a 2nd and 16 at the 24. A simple handoff to Clay Ashley, and he is stuffed in the backfield. The defensive end crew coming around for a solid stop. And it was Xavier Watkins, the will, finishing the play.
You talked about it at halftime, playing behind the sticks. Obviously, a mistake by Kyle Kelly on first down, but here you have a second down and long. I suppose you just want to try and get back to that original line of scrimmage, make it third and manageable. But now it's third and forever. This is the third down of 15-plus yards for Ball State.
This place is an insane asylum on 3rd and 20 at the Ball State 20-yard line. Kelly, more pressure, rolling out, somehow gets the throw to Keon Magwood. He is just short of the line to gain, as he's actually, there's a disagreement between the placement for these officials. They'll give it a 6-yard to go. 4th and 5 to be exact, and it's not enough for Coach Yu to thread the needle, roll the dice. Instead, he'll give it to Saul.
And what hurts about that is that's one of the most dynamic plays we've seen Kelly make. We saw a similar play on a 4th down and 16 late in the first half against Purdue. He rolled right, he had a man, and the throw was just short. That was an on-the-money throw, but you set yourself up in such bad position that it doesn't matter, and it's a 4th down punt.
4th and 5 at the 35-yard line. Saul to punt.
Oh, jeez.
And there's a flag. The play clock ran down. And that's a mistake you don't often see on special teams with the punting group out there. It looked like there was some disagreement amongst the gunners of where they should be.
It's not so uncommon to have the gunners make a little pre-snap movement, but there was just total miscommunication that time about where everybody needed to be.
Kane Lee is the man back for Auburn, standing at the 32-yard line awaiting Saul. He had a 62-yard punt on his last attempt. He's able to get this one off a low ball and knuckler. Lee will let it bounce, and he will decide to let it continue. Ball State lets that puppy roll to the 20-yard line. And it'll be 80 yards from the end zone for Jackson Arnold. 21-0 the score with 9:10 left in the third quarter. Auburn still trying to find some way to put some more points on the board. Still scoreless here in the second half. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Ball State Football, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll be right back. That defense ready to come back out onto the football field. They have held Auburn to 70 rushing yards, similar to what they did against Purdue, where they outrushed the Boilermakers. Not the same today. Ball State only 8 rushing yards.
Wow.
But the defense holding strong. 1st and 10 at Auburn's own 21-yard line.
You got to give this defense credit. I mean, when your offense isn't scoring points through now over 6 quarters, they are going out there and they are still flying around and they are hitting some guys. I mean, they've limited a really good offense to just 21 points. They should be proud of the performance they've put on.
Heavy package with a man in motion. Arnold snap, handoff, Cobb. Right up the gut for about 3 yards. He was stuffed. And we haven't seen many heavy packages from Auburn, and it really didn't work there.
It didn't, but that's kind of what Ball State's been trying to run. And it is more effective there than Ball State has been on those first down inside runs, because that hasn't been their look every time on first down. When you phase it in every once in a while, it usually works more effectively.
2nd and 7 at the 24. One receiver to each side. Play action. The throw to the near side. It's complete for Malcolm Simmons as he gets the first down. Ended up about a yard in front of the line to gain. And Auburn's chugging along once more.
Yeah, that's a nice move at the end of that route by Simmons. After he brings it down, he spins to his right just to get toward the sideline, creates some space, and is able to tiptoe for that first down. It's little extra plays like that to move the chains that keeps the offense moving comfortably.
Ball on the left hash for a 1st and 10 at the 33 now. 8:11 left in the third quarter. The snap, Arnold, another play action, looking once more to Simmons, and he's there again. Spinning around still across midfield to the 45, and he's finally wrestled out of bounds. A great gain by Malcolm Simmons on back-to-back plays, back-to-back first downs.
And for the most part, the open field tackling has been there for Ball State, but you can tell that this defense is getting just a little bit tired, especially in the secondary. Really young group of cornerbacks, so you try and keep your main guys out there for a long time.
Giddy-up offense for Auburn. 45-yard line is where the ball spotted. 1st and 10. The fake play action. Instead, the run to Cobb. Moves around to the 20. He's all alone to the 10. They won't catch him. Touchdown, Tigers. No one was home up the middle. And Jeremiah Cobb back-to-back games with a score.
That is the second up the middle explosive play we've seen from Jeremiah Cobb. And a 4-score lead for Auburn. Surely they've got to be feeling a lot more comfortable right now. But give credit to the heart of this offensive line. The guards, Dylan Wade and Jeremiah Wright, and then the center, Connor Liu. They've opened up some good holes for Cobb to get through.
27-0 the score, with maybe the most popular kicker in America lining up for the extra point. They love him around here because of his willpower. Alex McPherson.